Great story.
It was the weirdest thing because I was trying to figure out how to convince Fender to make a guitar that looked like a Gibson. It's a technical issue, but they had to copy certain aspects of a Gibson guitar. And I was trying to explain this to the custom shop guy I met at a NAMM show. Most people don't know what a NAMM show is. It stands for National Association of Music Merchants. It's a big, happens twice a year in the world. Big music conventions of music instrument companies. And so the head guy from Fender Custom Shop was there. His name was John Cruz. And I said to him, John, I have this Les Paul that I painted pink years ago. And I'd like you to make a Telecaster where the neck looks like this Les Paul with the trapezoid inlays and binding and the name Fender and Pearl on the black headstock, all the stuff that just Gibson does, you know, and Fender would never, nobody would ever copy the other guitar company. And I said to him, I'm trying to convince all these companies to do this. And he's like, dude, like, what are you saying? Like, dude, what are you saying? I said, if I can get Fender to do it, I can get everybody to do it. All I need is Fender, because Gibson's already going to do it because they're my guitar company. So they're already on board. I said, I need Fender to do it. So at that very moment that I was explaining this to John Cruz in front of the Fender booth at the NAMM show, completely randomly explaining how I got a Gibson Les Paul painted pink by this guy named Steve Carr back in 1977, randomly out of nowhere. I tell him the story that when the guitar came to me, it was delivered to me in the parking lot of a club, and I remember telling the kid to hold the guitar up. And anyway, this guy walks up behind me and he says, you're JJ French, right? I said, yeah. He said, I'm the guy that brought you that Les Paul in the parking lot at the Mad Hatter in Stony Brook, New York.
Incredible.
And I looked at John Cruz. I said, dude, this is not a setup. I haven't seen this kid. Obviously, the kid was 16 back then, right? So now he's like 46. And I said, you work for Steve Carr? He goes, yeah, man. I was an apprentice in his shop. And he told me to bring this guitar to you. And I said, if you're the guy, then tell me exactly what I did. And he said, yeah, man, I came to the parking lot. You walked outside. I opened up the trunk of my car, pull out the guitar. You said, take the guitar out of the case. I took the guitar out of the case. You told me to hold the guitar up. I held the guitar up. You looked at the guitar. You were wearing a ring with a big thing on it. And you smashed a gash in the bottom of the guitar. And I said to you, why did you do that? And you said, well, it's my guitar. I can do whatever the hell I want to do with it. But my singer's probably going to do that in about an hour on stage. So let me get it out of the way. And John Cruz said, you did not set this up. I said, John, I haven't seen this kid since 1977. And John said, I'll do it. He made a Telecaster look like a Les Paul, and then he did a Stratocaster, and he did a Fender Jazz Bass, and he did a Gretch. All because of that kid. All because of that conversation.
Just to clear things up, NAMM is in LA, right?
In Anaheim, California.
And the guy, I mean, that brought you the guitar, brought you in New York. So
40 years earlier.
Yeah, so unbelievable story.
Unbelievable story. I mean, I still, to this day, I don't quite, the coincidence was ridiculous. Yeah. Because had that not occurred, I don't think John would have, John just thought God must be talking to him. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think John said, okay, if this is what happened, I'll do it. And I still, you know, it's funny, that story that I tell online, if you go to Norm's Rare Guitars, I interviewed Norm last week. He's got 30,000 views already, right? So if you go there and I tell the story, the kid who brought me the guitar saw that interview and he talked about it online. And
wow.
Yeah.